Hurricane Erin has rapidly intensified into a Category 5 hurricane today and will continue to be a powerful hurricane moving forward. Here to give you the latest information. Unfortunately, folks, we have had changes in the wrong direction as far as model guidance and the potential path of this system. We're going to give you all the latest information on those changes. Is this a legit trend? Do we need to be concerned for more people? I do think if we wake up tomorrow morning and we are still talking about what we're about to go over, then we need to start to become a little bit more concerned. But we're going to go over everything that we know. We'll speak on impacts and everything about this system. And we'll have a segment speaking on what could form after Erin also, because I do think the tropics are going to remain pretty active. So my name's Mitch. Hope you guys are doing well out there tonight and having a great weekend. If you haven't subscribed, certainly consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. If anybody has anything that I can pray about or pray over, please put it in the comments below. Let's get going tonight. So this is Erin, a powerful Category 5 storm. The latest advisory has it at a 160 mile per hour hurricane. Now, I do think this is beginning to go through what we call an eye wall replacement cycle. And you can tell that the eye here, the cloud tops are beginning to warm. You can see the very cold cloud tops around it indicating the white and the pink. So what that means is when we have intense, strong thunderstorm activity, these updrafts go higher up in the atmosphere. The higher up you get, the colder it is, and this is reflected by the colors you see on your screen. So you can tell the pinhole right here where this eye is of Erin is starting to close up a little bit, but this is normal type stuff with very strong hurricanes. What happens? Inner eye wall collapses, the outer eye wall becomes the new inner eye wall, and it weakens as it does that. But once that process is done, the system has an opportunity to strengthen again. I hope that makes sense. So we are getting a lot of rain, strong winds across Puerto Rico to the Virgin Islands. So you guys are definitely seeing impacts. We got to see how close this is going to get to, say, the Bahamas, Turks, Caicos Islands. But this is the system. Looks the part. And it's a downright scary looking hurricane, if I had to be honest. Now, if we take a look at the water vapor loop, you can see it well. You see the cleared out eye there and how it begins to close up. That, black, which indicates a dry area, which is the eye of the hurricane, starts to get white. It gets moistened up. So like I said, I do think this thing's undergoing that eye wall replacement cycle. But this thing has an incredible outflow to it. Let's get that back off. And I mean, look at this. I mean, look at the clouds expanding out. This is what we call divergence aloft. And basically the upper wind pattern on top of this hurricane just supports tons of ventilation, tons of rising air. That air gets dispersed outward. That allows for more rising air. And this thing is just living and breathing its best life right now. So, I mean, if you got a Category 5 hurricane, you got a healthy hurricane. So enough of live conditions. What's going on with this system right now? It's a 160 mile per hour hurricane. This is the cone from the National Hurricane Center. Now, you guys are probably not used to looking at a version like this. This is Zoom Earth, but it basically overlays the National Hurricane Center cone onto this site. It's phenomenal. It's free to you guys as the public. You can toggle through it really well. Has the chart here. So it's forecast to maintain strength overnight. We're probably still going to wake up to a Category 5 hurricane tomorrow morning. And it says, hey, this is still going to be a Category 5 hurricane tomorrow afternoon. Now, we do have tropical storm watches in the Turks, Caicos Islands. And listen, this just drills home the fact of what we talk about. The cone isn't an impact zone. This is where the actual center of the storm could go. And this cone could tweak a little bit still. This could shift a little bit further to the southwest. It very well could, which obviously would bring more impacts further to the southwest, bringing more impacts to the Bahamas, Turks, Caicos Islands. But this just tells you, tropical storm watches, and you guys are not even in the cone, but this is such a strong hurricane. You guys are probably going to get gusty winds and probably some outer bands from this system. But we continue to move forward, and we'll widen this out. This will weaken more than likely to a Category 4, still a powerful storm system. And then it will make its closest pass to, say, probably the Carolina, the East Coast, coastline, probably sometime Wednesday. There's Bermuda. You guys are technically not in the cone. But listen, this is where I could see changes with this cone. Now, I'm going to draw on this. This is not obviously a forecast. This is just me drawing on this map. I could see this cone coming a little bit further out like this now. Do I think this is going to make a landfall like right into North Carolina, go through the Delmarva, this, that? No, I don't. But this thing is going to get larger. It's a compact, very strong hurricane right now, but I think that this thing will widen out. There it is right here. And once it gets to right here, I really think the wind field will expand. Maybe the actual, the core of the system, will still remain the same, but the wind field will really expand. So you'll get stronger winds out away from the actual center of the system. So so right now, millibar wise, I believe it's at a 915 millibar system. It's moving west at, I believe, 15 miles per hour when I just checked. So it's still moving due west. We got to get this thing to turn fast. Okay, so that's the latest cone. Now, listen, before we go over model guides with this system, I want you to, we're not even going to talk about the strength of the system that's being modeled because it is off terribly. For example, it's saying that this is going to be well, let's say it right now. It's saying that right now it's a 985 millibar storm. Folks, it's a 915 millibar storm. So strength-wise, the models are just not right. Okay, so let's not even talk about the millibar that much. Of course, I'm going to mention it because I always do. But, we start to get into tomorrow evening. This is getting very close to the Turks Caicos Islands, right in here. Close enough to bring some outer bands. Okay, I think it will be close enough to bring some impacts besides just gusty winds. And then we start to get into Tuesday morning. Okay, still a very strong hurricane. It's crazy. The Euro is so behind that it thinks most of its strengthening of the system is going to happen just east of the Bahamas, which worries me because it makes me think we're still going to be dealing with a powerful Category 5 hurricane early next week. Bermuda right here, obviously the southeast coastline right here. We take this into Wednesday morning, and that's when we're going to flip to this. The latest Euro, like I said, don't focus so much on the strength. It's probably a Category 4 hurricane at least. Look how close it has it now. Look at that. Look at it. It's just moving north. It won't turn. Look how close it has it now to the Outer Banks as we're getting to Wednesday night, Thursday morning. And for my folks in Bermuda tuning in, you're like, man, you're not showing us. Well, it's closer on this run than to the Carolina coastline, Virginia, and stuff like that than it is you guys. So there's not a whole lot I can show you. But this thing, listen, it's going to get larger. The wind field's really going to expand. And yeah, sure, it doesn't look like, rain-wise, it brings a lot of impacts. But I'm going to show you how close this wind field is to the Carolina coastline here in a second. So, this continues to move as we're moving into Thursday evening. And I'm not going to ignore my folks up here in Atlantic Canada. Here it comes. The Euro makes it whiffs you guys pretty good, which is good news. And it misses well to the southeast. So that's good news, right? Now, what about the GFS? The GFS continues to tick west. So here it is Sunday morning. Like I said, ignore the millibar number because it's much stronger than this. But here it goes, making its closest pass to the Turks Caicos Islands. That is a very strong hurricane right up the road from you guys on the Turks Caicos Islands Monday morning. I mean, that's definitely close enough to bring impacts. You look at the run a couple runs before this. I mean, look at the 4-run trend. I believe this is 4 runs. Look how it's gradually ticked west. Same thing we get into Tuesday morning. I mean, it says it wants to strengthen this again, but then again, the model itself doesn't even know how strong this hurricane is right now. So, yeah, we get into Tuesday evening. This is creeping in between Bermuda and the Carolina coastline. Once again, we'll bring it to this. Here it is, just a powerful, large hurricane off the Carolina coastline. And yeah, I mean, it's not making a landfall. It's not even close to making a landfall. But man, it is just right off the coastline. I mean, yeah, that is a few to several hundred miles. But I'm telling you, the wind field is going to expand. But it misses. But man, wait till I show you winds here. Just give me a second and I'll get to it. But, the scary thing about the GFS with, say, Newfoundland is it crushes you guys in southeast Newfoundland and the Avalon Peninsula. It hits you guys with the meat of the meat of this system. And this wind field at this point, because this is going to start to go post-tropical, which means the wind fields really get large and not as strong winds, but the stronger winds get expanded outward. I mean, we got to still watch this system for you guys. So I do want to show you what, say, the HFA model is. Hurricane model is probably doing the best with strength. It'll make its closest pass. You can see here at the bottom of your screen over here. This is the Turks Caicos Islands. So the HFA model does have some outer bands barely getting into, you guys' area. But listen, I mean, you're still going to get gusty winds, and look at these outer bands trying to get into the Bahamas over here. And then we start to get all the way into Wednesday morning. Let's see if we can see the outer bank. The outer bank's sticking out over here. Always get twisted there. I'm gonna say outer bands, outer banks. You get them twisted up. There it is, right there. Outer banks. It's showing up. It's close enough to where it kind of there's like a blimp there. Bermuda not. So yeah, guys. And I mean, so we talk about impacts, right? I don't want to ignore a shorter term. You know, the Turks Caicos Islands and Puerto Rico. You guys are just getting impacts right now. I mean, there's probably brief tropical storm force conditions out here, 30, 40, 50 mile per hour wind gusts. But this is the predicted rainfall in millimeters and inches for you guys. And this is the National Hurricane Center forecast for winds as of now. Okay, as far as, not forecast for winds, but the percent chance to see tropical storm force conditions winds wise. So that's 39, 40 mile per hour winds or higher. Right now, they only are giving about a 5 to 10% chance for the Outer Banks. And for Cape Cod, Martha's Vineyard, and a little bit of southern Nova Scotia poking out in this too. And Bermuda's really into this. You know, Bermuda's got 30 to 40% chance. But listen, I really think that this is going to scoot this way a little bit. I do. I think that this percent chance is going to scoot west. The longer we continue to have these trends, the more legit they seem. You know, you kind of want to nod them off a little bit, but yeah, we got to watch this. But the timeline of when these tropical storm force winds will move into your specific area, of course, it's not probably a lot of people tuning in, but I mean, we're going to get tropical storm force winds, 40 mile per hour winds or higher through the Bahamas, Turks, Caicos Islands, Bermuda. We're certainly going to get them. It's just how high are the winds going to get. Now, this is the stuff that's going to blow people's mind a little bit. This is just not a forecast. It's the operational Euro run for potential wind gusts. It has the core of this wind field just off the coastline of like Cape Hatteras. In fact, they got, trying to, I don't know if y'all can see this, that's 59, going for 59, 60 mile per hour wind gusts in the far easternmost areas like Rodanthe and the Cape Hatteras areas of the Outer Banks. We got to watch out for you folks. And even, 30, 40 mile per hour wind gusts showing up, even, a little bit inland into eastern North Carolina. Look at Virginia Beach. We got to watch out for, the Tidewater. We don't want this getting any closer. Even the wind field getting closer, yeah. So, if we look at, say, the GFS, how close does it get it? Not near as bad, okay, but still 30, 40 mile per hour wind gust. Now, let's go back to the Euro, and I knew it was going to do that. So that is a cool thing. We got the 18Z Euro running right now. That'll be interesting to see what that does. We take this back out and we look up the road. Let's go to the Mid-Atlantic. We have some strong wind gusts just off the coastline. So 30, 40 mile per hour wind gusts along the coastal areas of just the East Coast. But man, look at these strong winds just offshore. That's pretty far offshore, but that's 100, 115, 100, just over 100 mile per hour wind gusts. But it does show Martha's Vineyard, Cape Cod, Nantucket getting those 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts. And that's something to watch. And just more of New England here. And listen, I'm not going to show Nova Scotia or Newfoundland yet. I know you guys measure your winds differently. Let's hold off for that. But this wind field, if we take a larger look at that. Look at these winds. Look, if the center of the storm kind of goes up through here, right? Look how far out the winds expand from the center of the system. So it's even 50 to 100 miles makes a big difference now if, say, the Euro is telling us exactly what's going to happen. And we don't know if that is the case. Why are we getting these ticks? So I'm going to stop it here. This is for this coming Tuesday evening, the evening of the 19th. So the warmer colors on your screen, for example, that like salmon pink color right here, this is high pressure. The blue is low pressure. So high pressure, steering around high pressure is going to go like this. Okay, it's going to go like this, and it's going to go like that, and like this. Okay, so this is some ridging is trying to build on this system. It's a little bit stronger, or whether the North Atlantic ridge right in here is pushing up against the system and building on it from the east to the west. Whatever's happening here, the system feels some sort of weakness right here. It's all about the position of this trough too. If this trough like continues to speed up and move this way, then the ridge is able to build back in here faster. But if you look at the latest European model, and then we look at like several ones as far as prior European model runs, and you can see there's been a trend. So I'm going to go, this is like, I don't know how many I just did, like 6, 7, 8 runs. Let's go all the way to the current run. You see how that blue blob right here, which is Erin, is sticking south and west? And then you can see how the ridging fills in here. So that the stronger the ridge you have right in here, and certainly on top of the storm, the more this is going to try to prevent this. I think inevitably it's going to turn, right? But it's going to make that turn a lot harder and make it hang west for a little bit too long. And then finally, it does get picked up by the trough. So, you know, as far as comparing this Euro ensemble run with the last one, this is the current run. You notice no members make an exact landfall for the East Coast. I mean, they don't even make a landfall for Bermuda. It's right smack in the middle. The thing that's concerning is if we look at the run prior, and this is gonna, I want you to kind of keep your eyes down here while I do this. Look at the run prior from overnight. You see how all that shifted to the east? Now look, watch how this shifts to the west on the latest run. That's one heck of a tick west, right? So, yeah, guys, you know, the last thing I'm going to try to look at here, let's see what the latest Euro is showing with Erin. Okay, because we do, wow, we have the entire run, so this is good. Let's see if we can actually see if the ticks are continuing. So let's look at East Coast here, and let's see where this thing is. Let's see if we've had a tick back in the right direction. And let's just look at this, and here it comes. And little time lapse there. That sucks, right? Excuse me, that stinks. I'm sorry for any kids watching. For you know, this time frame, let's compare this with the other run. So yeah, I mean, it looks like there's not much of a movement. It looks like it's kind of sped up. So yeah, I mean, it looks like there's kind of a jump there. Now let's compare this time frame. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, we can comfortably say that's a tick back east. So that's good. But we just need to watch these little ticks, guys. I mean, it's just something we need to watch. It really is. And I don't know how legitimate, I don't know if you can call it a trend yet. But on this run, it still brings very strong winds right up the eastern seaboard. But you got to be like right on the coast. So we'll continue to watch this, guys. I just don't think we're done figuring this one out, unfortunately. And I mean, we'll be talking about it for another week. So, I mean, it just feels like we've already been talking about it for 10 days. We have. But listen, I'm showing you this entire graphic for a reason. I think we're going to get, there's nothing right now, but I think in the coming days, we're going to get some sort of area of interest in this area. It's going to be a 20 to a 30% chance at tropical development in this area. And this is for the next wave we're going to talk about, or waves. Okay, so that's my shot. I'm going to take my shot here, right? And this for this energy here. Now, whether this is for, I don't know, this wave or both, I really think it's this one. But we got a lot of energy coming off North Africa again, about to make its entire travel across the central Atlantic. So there's going to be multiple things to watch at the same time. So what are we seeing from the latest model guidance? Well, we're going to jump ahead, skip the whole entire MDR, and we're going to move this into about Wednesday of next week. This is, and listen, Erin is still on your screen. We're going to be talking about both. The GFS for the last 2 days has liked the idea of this wave surviving that I just circled, and then developing once it gets right on the heels of the Leeward Islands, and basically the Lesser Antilles, Windward Islands. So it has basically a Category 1 hurricane getting into the Eastern Caribbean by next Friday, August the 22nd. And of course, if anything gets in the Caribbean this time of the year, it's probably going to intensify. And sure enough, we have a powerful hurricane cruising through the Caribbean, goes up, makes landfall somewhere in the Greater Antilles, and then comes up, and then in 10 days, it's not a forecast, and that's not what Mitch is saying, but it's not what I'm saying. But the GFS has a hurricane hitting multiple areas and then getting all the way into Florida, and of course sneaking into the Gulf. So GFS has continued to show this. And if we go back and look at this, and we look at runs prior, this one, it continues to lock on to something here. So it's going to be a major whiff by the GFS if this doesn't happen. It's going to fall flat on its face. But, other model guides not 100% agreeing. The Euro has this energy, and that's it right there. Doesn't look like much, right? That's it right there. It has this energy, but it's not doing much with it. I mean, it develops a little low right there. You can see it pop up. Not doing a whole lot. It does try to get something going, but it looks like it gets picked up by a cold front and slung back out in the North Atlantic. What about the Euro AI model? Has the same energy. It's right here. It's just not much of anything. It follows the Euro almost to a T. So what about guidance here? So we're going to look at the Euro ensemble first. It's trying to pick up on two different waves, which makes sense because we got two waves starting to come off Africa now. We got this one, and we got the one out front that the GFS really likes. So this is the Euro ensemble. It makes up 51 members. Please don't think there's like 25 low pressures out here. And if we move this in time, this is going to start to move into the path of what Erin takes. So it's going to get blended in a little bit. But there is a pretty solid signal for something right in here. But most of them are weak. There's a signal for something behind it. But I think we got a long ways to go before we figure it out. Now, what about the latest GFS ensemble? We only have about 120 hours out, so you're going to have to see it load on the screen. I'm sure that's annoying. But man, the GFS ensemble really likes, this only makes up 21 members, but it really likes that first wave. In fact, we can only go out this far. It likes something getting going out of this wave. So the ensembles follow its operational run for at least the short to medium term. So, yeah, guys, that's all I got. Continue to tune in for updates. I know some people are like, dude, this is a fish storm. It's not gonna, it's not gonna end up doing anything. But listen, and we have a no new update, but it looks like it's keeping it at 160 mile per hour storm. But this thing's powerful, guys, and I think we need to continue to, continue to watch this storm. I really do. I think that it could have a trick up its sleeve, and you can see as the sun begins to set on it, we got to wake up tomorrow morning and see what we're dealing with this storm. But it's going to continue to turn away. We've been pretty lucky so far. If this was making a direct impact to some of these islands here, man, it would be devastating. I mean, we've already had flash flood warnings, so very healthy system as the sun begins to set on it. We'll wake up tomorrow morning, do it all over again, have you a new update. Folks, I really appreciate the support, the video this morning. I was not expecting it. Hit about 50,000 views. And so welcome to any new people. Appreciate y'all very much for choosing my channel to tune into. And that's all I got. God bless. Have a wonderful night. Stay safe, and we'll talk in the morning.